If you've been living under a rock, let me inform you that AEW is currently negotiating with Warner Brothers Discovery, the company that airs their programming, on getting a new TV deal. And when wrestling companies, when companies in general, especially when it comes to sports companies on TV, work on getting a new TV deal, they want more revenue. They want more revenue sharing. They want to up the ante. So we are going to talk about this new deal, possibly what's going to go down, what should happen, and just how this really all should play out. So right now, the current relationship between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery is pretty good. They're constantly and consistently the number one show on Wednesday nights for airing of Dynamite. Rampage airs at 10 p.m. on Friday nights, and this usually does really, really well. And Collision airs Saturdays at 8, and that usually does really well for its time slot. And then you also have the Battle of the Belt specials. But overall, everything is good. But things for sure can be better. And AEW knows that, even though, possibly won't admit it. And Warner Brothers knows that it needs to be better, even though they possibly won't admit it. But what needs to happen when this deal goes down? First things first, don't change times. I remember there was a time when SmackDown came on. Don't change times or days. Like I said, I remember when SmackDown came on Thursdays, it came on Fridays, it aired at Tuesdays at one point. But it always stayed at 8 p.m. Raw for the longest time before it became a 3-hour show, aired at 9 p.m. Monday nights. Now it's 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday night. So AEW, don't change your time slots. Dynamite Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on TBS. Friday nights Rampage 10 p.m. TNT. Collision Saturday nights 8 p.m. TNT. And that works. Once you get people getting to a habit of knowing where your shows are, knowing where to locate them, things are good. And that's the easiest part, right? Secondly, you need to work on your advertisement. I rarely see AEW commercials outside of the Warner Brothers channels. Like, I haven't seen an AEW commercial on a regular TV channel, and that needs to change. We talk about advertisement, and that's pretty much where the world is right now. It's all about advertisement and getting those dollars. You need to advertise more. When you advertise more, you can get a stranglehold on the market. You don't need to ultimately compete with the WWE when it comes to like selling out arenas or being as big as them, but you just need to keep growing and growing and growing. For me personally, you need to get Ring of Honor a TV show that will air either on TV or on a streaming platform. Ring of Honor is good, and not only Ring of Honor is good, it's fun, but also, I think for me, more importantly about Ring of Honor, in addition to getting it a TV deal, getting it on more eyes, you've got to, I think honestly, you have to find them a home like NXT has with their Performance Center. NXT does well for its nights, and NXT is moving to the CW next year. So what Ring of Honor needs to do, the one thing they need to copy, I think they just really need an at-home base. They just need somewhere where they can put their head and say, guys, come here. As it sounds like, TNA might be moving back to their old studios and filming there in Universal Studios, but also more importantly, getting that revenue. Because remember, if you don't know this, TNA was not getting any revenue when people will come to Universal Studios to go see the TNA show. So Ring of Honor needs that. Make a home base. Hell, do it here in Philly at the 2300 Arena, but they need a home base where fans can go and say, I'm ready to watch some Ring of Honor on a weekly basis. Then you can fly people in and out. It'll probably end up being in Florida, where quote unquote AEW's home base is located, but that should be a top priority. And we know what the biggest thing that needs to happen with this new deal is streaming. AEW has a serviceable library. They have the Ring of Honor library. They have their library. They have a library of a couple others, and they work with other companies like New Japan. You have to get AEW on to Max. Period. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I should be able to go to Max the next day after AEW airs and watch it. Period. Same thing with the WWE Network on Peacock. You can also order the pay-per-views, but they need to be airing on Max. Streaming platforms want live content because live content drives in viewers. And if AEW can, in my opinion, fix Rampage needs to be a secondary show to a continuation of Dynamite and a setup for Collision. It needs to be the in-between. It can't be a forgettable show. Same thing with Collision. Collision needs to be stopped being a predictable show. Once you fix that and you put that on your streaming platform, right, the viewers will come. You get Ring of Honor onto that streaming platform, the viewers will come. You get the pay-per-views onto the streaming platform, viewers will come. That will drive up subscribers for Max. It will bring in more eyes to your product. Because let's be honest, let's be real, y'all. AEW pay-per-views are usually bangers. They rarely, if ever, suck. So with this deal, you have to get the pieces going. Sign a new 5-year deal. You up the revenue. Whatever they're making right now, you probably won't double it, but you may increase it by 25 to 30%. Warner Brothers might pay out because, let's be real, there's a strong chance that TNT is going to lose the NBA. If they lose the NBA, you're going to need to bring more eyes onto your station. And if you're not going to do original programming, you have to go all in with professional wrestling, with soccer, with hockey, with baseball. If they can do that and reorganize themselves, Warner Bros. Discovery will be just fine. Now, mind you, David Zaslav is a righteous cunt, and is just not a good CEO, and he's part of the reason why a lot of things aren't going well in Warner Brothers. But sounds like he has a good relationship with Tony Khan. Tony Khan knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He's looking for the best possible way to expand the AEW product. But it also starts within getting Ring of Honor a deal and getting on a streaming platform, keeping your schedule, fixing, what needs to be fixed with your shows, and more importantly, stop running the same markets, and the product will be much, much better. And it's not saying AEW is a bad product. AEW is far from a bad product. But you know what you need to fix, Tony Khan. And we're all waiting for this deal to go through and excited to see what's going to transpire from it. I'm ready. I know you're ready. Don't disappoint us. Peace.